Hey everybody, it's Barbara Ann. Welcome back to my channel, Straight Out of Context. Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt just reached a divorce settlement finally after 8 long years. Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt have come to a settlement 8 years since Jolie filed for divorce. The two both signed off on a default declaration filed in Los Angeles Superior Court. The settlement agreement was confidential. In a statement to NPR, Jolie's divorce lawyer, James Simon, of the law firm Hirsch Manis, writes, "More than 8 years ago, Angelina filed for divorce from Mr. Pitt. She and the children left all of the properties they had shared with Mr. Pitt, and since that time, she has focused on finding peace and healing for their family." The statement continues, "Frankly, Angelina is exhausted, but she is relieved this one part is over." A representative for Pitt has not responded to NPR's request for comment. Pitt and Jolie met on the set of Mr. and Mrs. Smith in 2005 movie in which the two played married assassins. They wed in 2014, and Jolie filed for divorce only 2 years later. Pitt and Jolie vowed to keep the details of their divorce private, issuing a statement in 2017 that said they were sealing the documents to protect their 6 children. But an extensive legal back and forth followed, including over custody of their children and future ownership of Chateau Miraval, the French winery they once shared. In court papers related to their dispute over the winery, Jolie accused Pitt of assaulting her and their children on a flight in 2016. A representative for Pitt told the Associated Press that the actor denied the allegations, calling them another rehash that only harms the family. The news of Jolie and Pitt's settlement was first reported by People magazine. Jolie filed for divorce from Pitt on September 19, 2016, after 2 years of marriage and 12 years together. Brad Pitt and Angelina have reached a settlement in their divorce 8 years after the Maria star filed to end their 2-year marriage, citing irreconcilable differences. Jolie, 49, and Pitt, 61, signed off on their divorce Monday, December 30th, according to Jolie's lawyers. More than 8 years ago, Angelina filed for divorce from Mr. Pitt. She and the children left all of the properties they had shared with Mr. Pitt, and since that time, she has focused on finding peace and healing for their family. Jolie's lawyer, James Simon, tells People in a statement, "This is just one part of a long, ongoing process that started 8 years ago. Frankly, Angelina is exhausted, but she is relieved this one part is over." A source close to Jolie adds, "She doesn't speak ill of Pitt publicly or privately. She's been trying hard to be the light after a dark time." A rep for Pitt declined to confirm or comment. Jolie filed for dissolution of marriage on September 19, 2016. Days after a private plane flight on which she claimed Pitt was abusive to her and their 6 children. He was not charged by authorities after investigations at the time. The FBI dropped it, and Jolie declined to press charges. Since the filing, neither Jolie nor any of the children have ever stepped foot back in Miraval, which was their home until then. Jolie's lawyers have stated. 4 months later, the former couple released a joint statement indicating that they have reached an agreement to handle their divorce in a private forum and would keep future details of their divorce confidential by utilizing a private judge. The parties and their counsel have signed agreements to preserve the privacy rights of their children and family by keeping all court documents confidential and engaging in a private judge to make any necessary legal decisions and to facilitate the expeditious resolution of any remaining issues, according to the statement. It concluded, "The parents are committed to act as a united front to effectuate recovery and reunification." Lending up to the 2017 privacy agreement, Pitt and Jolie had locked in strained divorce negotiations centered on custody issues and trading harsh accusations in filings in Los Angeles Superior Court. In January 2017, they agreed to seal sensitive records relating to their 6 children. the majority of whom are now adults. Maddox, 23, Pax, 21, Zahara, 19, Shiloh, 18, and twins, Vivian and Knox, now 16. The exes, who had their divorce bifurcated, were declared legally single in 2019. Pitt has been dating LA jewelry exec Inez de Ramon, 34, since 2022. In the following years, the former couple battled over custody as well as legal issues pertaining to the 164 million French estate and winery that they shared, Chateau Miraval. Pitt sued Jolie in February 2022 over her sale of her Chateau Miraval stake, and the Tomb Raider star filed a countersuit in which she stated her ex was waging a vindictive war against her. The lawsuit was filed by Novell, a business founded by Jolie. The company claimed that Pitt masterminded a so far successful plan to seize control of Chateau Miraval following the couple's split in 2016. Of the countersuit, a source close to Pitt told People, "This is just the latest in a series of deliberate efforts to misdirect, recycle, and reposition the truth of what has happened over the last 6 years. Thinking that reasonable people would be duped by these obvious misrepresentations." In a case management statement, Jolie called Pitt's legal action frivolous, malicious, and a part of a problematic pattern. The actress is holding firm that she and Pitt did not have a secret, unwritten, unspoken contract that required them to act for consent before selling their shares of Chateau Miraval. If you don't remember, this has been a huge issue in their legal battles. The pair have continued to fight over Miraval throughout 2024, which is not connected to their divorce proceedings. In November, Jolie scored a legal win when a judge in the case ruled that Pitt must disclose documents, including emails and text messages, that Jolie's lawyer, Paul Murphy, claims will prove her allegations of abuse against Pitt and years of cover-ups on his part. And I don't know if you guys heard about that, but that's actually true. And this could be very damaging to Pitt if he has ever texted, emailed, or done anything on any of his devices and they obtain copies right from the carrier or the servers of those carriers, because it will vindicate her if true. In the same month, Pitt also notched his own victory in the winery battle when Jolie's motions to dismiss the lawsuit were rejected and the case inched closer to trial, with a potential proof that there was a written agreement between the former couple about selling, which a Pitt source said demonstrates the legitimacy of his claims. His lawyers have called Jolie's request for the documents a sensationalist fishing expedition. I know, everybody, this case has seemed to just never, ever end. From the very first time Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt met each other, he was still married for 4.5 years to Jennifer Aniston, to all of the scandal of adultery, of misgivings, cheating, travel, alcoholism, all of it that has surrounded them. People always think, how could two of the world's most beautiful people and two of the most talented actors that America has ever produced, how can they come together to produce children and yet still not make it work? They had everything. They had fame, wealth, luxury, glamour. They had the homes, the money, the finances, the private jets, the traveling, the nice expensive jewelry, the designer clothing. It just never seemed to end for Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. But the saddest part is that they do have 3 adoptive children and 3 biological children. And with that said, we can see why the division of assets and over companies and the winery and the chateau, why this has taken this long. But over 8 years, they are finally divorced. And I pray for them that 2025 is their best year yet, especially for each and every one of the Pitt Jolie children. Or should I say, Jolie Pitt children. because even celebrities don't have it all. Drop your comments down below. Good night, everybody.